Alrighty, and we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome. We'll be starting soon. Just gotta set everything up, and we will be ready to go. I have some exciting news, and we have got this week's episode of the podcast. Almost at 50 episodes. Crazy to think about. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yep, we're gonna get into it very soon. Just setting things up, and I'll be ready to go. Looking forward as well. That's good, actually. Just finishing setting things up. Something I didn't include in the title actually is I decided today that I want to make another subscriber goal achievement because we are nearing 100 subscribers on the channel. I do also want to give the heads up. This episode will probably be a longer one. I'm shooting for 100 subscribers. I'll get into it in a moment. All right, let me just let's set up audio. All right, we're ready to begin. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Benny and Booth Podcast. On this week's episode, we've got NFL Week 1 to go over and predictions for Week 2. We've got College Football Week 2 to go over. We've got MLB recap. And also news that happened in NFL outside of the games this week and more all coming up. Let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 49 of the Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for your support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. As next week's episode is going to be an episode milestone, 50 episodes, which is crazy to be saying, having started this almost a year ago, literally. And now 50 episodes in, keeping this going. Pretty much have been doing it every week except for a few weeks, which is crazy to say, and I'm happy to keep it going. So as I kind of went down the intro, I decided I want to make a subscriber goal for because we are, as of the recording of the podcast live, um, we are at this we are at 92 subscribers, almost at 100, and I kind of want to get to 100 pretty soon. So I'm gonna make a subscriber goal. And I'm not going to set a specific date. The sooner the better, obviously. But for whenever we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to live stream a sports game of live commentary. It'll be your choice between NFL. If it's college football, obviously be a night game on Saturday night. But NFL, college football, I could even do an MLB postseason game. I mean, if it's going to be baseball, I'd probably rather postseason. Maybe basketball, maybe not, but any of those kind of sports, I'd be doing it live commentary. The annoying part sadly for YouTube though is you'll only be able to see me because on YouTube you can't play the game on YouTube, otherwise you get copyright strike. But you'd be able to get live commentary from me for the game, and then I'll live stream it. Of course, I'm not gonna pre-record me commenting on a game. I mean, I could, but realistically, I'd do it live as a subscriber goal. So 100 subscribers, and it will happen. And which sport will be up to you. And obviously, will have to be that I'd be able to watch it. I'll have the ability to watch it, whether it's through TV or phone or whatever it would be. But yeah, when we get to 100 subscribers, it will be up to you guys which sport. But I'm really excited that we're right around the corner from 100, and I like to get there pretty soon. So if you want to try to help it, and you're new and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a notification bell so you're notified when I go live or post a video. If you know people that enjoy podcasts and maybe would enjoy this podcast, tell them about the podcast. Share the podcast to them. Tell them to subscribe to the podcast. Help the grow this podcast community together as we get along here now and then. All right, so let's get into it. NFL, we finally got into week 1. No week 0, no preseason. Finally, week 1. There were a few notes I will note that happened prior or in between games this week. Emmanuel Sanders, who was on Bills last year during their playoff run, retired. Was Super Bowl 50 champion with Denver Broncos. Pretty good receiver last year with Buffalo, but he was old and it was about time. But he had a pretty good career, so adios to him. Good luck in retirement. Dawson Knox signed an extension with the Buffalo Bills, 4 years, $53.6 million. Jordan Waller signed an extension with the Raiders, 3 years, $51 million, and Quentin Nelson signed an extension with the Colts, 4 years, $80 million. That's all the general news. Now let's actually get into what happened in week 1. I obviously won't be going over all the games, but most of the game I ended up being most of the games I got a script for. So Thursday night football started with Buffalo and the Rams. I originally thought like Rams coming off the Super Bowl, like be a smart pick to pick the Rams. Yeah, first half it looked okay. I mean, it was 10-10, but at the end of the first half, both teams were rough-ish. But the second half was all Buffalo. Buffalo combined in this game had 7 sacks, 3 interceptions on Stafford. Josh Allen was involved in all 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing, in a 31-10 win over the Rams, blowing the Rams out the river and making the Rams look clearly looking like that a Super Bowl hangover in week 1. We'll see about beyond that, but Bills won 31-10. Joe Burrow became the first QB. This is from Sunday, Steelers-Bengals. Joe Burrow became first QB to throw 3 interceptions, get sacked 4 times in the first half since Delvin Duck Hodges in 2019 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He threw 4 interceptions in total in this game, got sacked 7 times, and fumbled. They were down 20. They were down early, but they came back to tie it. But a blocked extra point forced it to overtime. And after McPherson missed a 29-yard field goal and Chris Boswell missed a 55-yard field goal, Boswell got a 53-yard field goal to beat the Bengals in overtime 23-20, sending a message to the rest of the AFC North that if you thought if you thought the Steelers were just going to get 9 wins, think again. Then again, TJ Watt did get hurt. He will not be getting surgery on the torn pec. It has been confirmed prior to today's episode. I think it's still going to be out a few weeks, but the fact that it's not torn is still huge for the Steelers. It could have been a lot worse had it been it was torn, but if he would have had surgery, that would have been a lot worse for Pittsburgh. But in the end, it ends up being a bit better. Browns Panthers Baker's quote unquote revenge game. Scoreless first quarter, which I don't think anyone predicted. The Browns jumped out on top 20-7 at one point. Baker got off to a rough start in the first 3 quarters. Threw pick, had 4 low snaps. They just were looking bad, Carolina. And again, Jacoby Brissett was solid, nothing crazy. But sadly, the Browns basically blew it all in the fourth quarter, giving up a long touchdown to the Panthers, and capped off by a Eddie Pinheiro 34-yard field goal with basically a bit of over a minute left, no timeouts. But the Browns were thankfully able to drive downfield to get within a 58-yard field goal for Cade York, the rookie, who made it to give the Browns their first Week 1 win since 2004, 18 years. And that's just flat out. This is their first time on the road winning a Week 1 since before the quote-unquote cardinal sin of the Browns having been moved to Baltimore by the man we shall not speak the name of as Browns fans. Browns fans don't speak the name of. For podcast sake, I will because of podcast. I'm not trying to be Browns biased on this. But Art Modell moved the Browns to Baltimore back in 1994. Been a really long time, but they did get to win. Baker does not get his revenge, winning the last time they won completely in a Week 1 was Baltimore at home, winning 20-23, and last road win 94 was at Cincinnati 28-20. Browns had 4 sacks against Baker, 3 for Myles Garrett, and 1 interception. Browns won 26-24. Bears Niners. This context. It rained. It was a dampened field in Soldier Field in Chicago. It was a bad field. And the Bears literally got a 15-yard penalty for trying to dry up the certain spot to make a good field goal setup and got pushed back 15 yards. They ended up actually down 10-0 and came back to beat the Niners 19-10 in the end, though. Cowboys, Buccaneers, I kind of skipped to Sunday Night Football, but I kind of did this bit out of order, but it is what it is. But a big headline, Dak Prescott was injured in the 19-3 Dallas loss to the Buccaneers and is going to be out a very long time. Mostly field goals for Tampa, aside from a 5-yard touchdown pass from Brady and Mike Evans, and Cowboys only mustered up a field goal. Cooper Rush will be starting for a long time because Dak's going to be out for like 6 to 8 weeks, I think, or something like that. Giants, Titans. Giants came back from down 13-0, beat the Titans, capped off via a missed field goal by the Titans. And to win 21-20. Big upset by the Giants to win that game. The Colts came back from down 20-3 to tie it at 20, but after nobody scored in overtime and in regulation, the Colts and Texans became the first game to be the victim of a tie at 20 in final score, including Rodrigo Blankenship missed 42-yard field goal in overtime for Indy. New Orleans Saints came back from down 26-10 against the Falcons to win 27-26, capped off by Saints blocking a Falcons 63-yard field goal attempt. Vikings-Packers. The Vikings hammer down the Packers at home 23-7. It was all Minnesota. Rodgers was off with his receivers. Receiver even dropped a wide open pass. It did not look good for the Packers. Chiefs, Cardinals, it was all. Oh, sorry, no. Dolphins, Patriots. I'm still thinking Tyreek Hill's on the Chiefs. Still got to get used to that. Anyways, Tyreek Hill in his debut had 8 catches for 94 yards in a 20-7 Dolphins. I'm confusing Dolphins with Marlins for some reason. Whooping of the Patriots. And then last night on Monday Night Football, the Broncos had 16 penalties for 106 yards in the 17-16 loss versus Seattle. And a call that was been criticized by all Broncos fans. Hackett, the news coach, Chris Hackett, the new coach for the Denver Broncos, former Packers coordinator, went for a 64-yard field goal on 4th and 5 with 15 seconds left instead of going for it, and he missed. So that is general, not all the games, but recap from general of week 1. My predictions this week, I went 7-8-1, with the one being the tie between the Colts and the Texans. Standings for after week 1, AFC East, the Dolphins are 1-0. Dolphins and Bills are both 1-0, with the Patriots and Jets being 0-1. In the AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, and Browns are all 1-0. Bengals are 0-1. In the AFC South, the Texans and Colts are both 0-1, while the Titans and Jaguars are 0-1. The AFC West, the Chargers and Chiefs are both 1-0. The Broncos and Raiders are both 0-1. That's for the AFC. For the NFC, I won't be getting into conference standings until it gets closer to playoffs, by the way. Eagles, Commanders, and Giants are all 1-0. The Cowboys are 0-1. In the NFC North, the Vikings and the Bears are 1-0. The Lions and the Packers are 0-1. In the NFC South, the Saints and the Buccaneers are 1-0. The Panthers and the Falcons are 0-1. And then in the NFC West, the Seahawks are the only 1-0 team. Everyone else is 0-1. That is the standings from week 1. So let's get into week 2 schedule and predictions. Thursday Night Football, we actually get a very good matchup with Chargers at Chiefs. Thursday Night Football at 8:15, September 15th. Actually, this year, though, Thursday Night Football games are all on Amazon Prime and not on NFL Network. I thought about this for a bit, but I am going to pick the Chiefs. I think they will win this game. Sunday, the Browns home opener hosting the Jets. 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Browns winning that game. The Jets are without Zach Wilson. I'd give them more credit if they had Zach Wilson. They're without Zach Wilson. I mean, either way, I think the Browns would win, but without Zach Wilson, even with Joe Flacco having experience against the Browns, I don't think they're going to be able to get it done at all. Dolphins at Ravens, 1 o'clock on CBS. I have the Ravens winning that game, but that should be a good matchup. I will say that. Commanders at Lions, 1 o'clock on Fox. I have the Commanders. Colts at Jaguars at 1 p.m. on CBS. I have the Colts. Buccaneers at Saints at 1 p.m. on Fox on Sunday. I have the Buccaneers. Panthers at Giants, 1 p.m. on Fox. I have the Carolina Panthers winning that game. Patriots at Steelers, 1 p.m. on CBS. I actually have Pittsburgh. Actually, now I think about it, yeah, I'm changing that to New England with the injuries, because also Najee Harris is injured, I think. I don't remember how serious it was, but he also is hurt. So I'm going to change that to New England. Falcons at Rams at 4:05 on Fox. I have the Rams. Seahawks at 49ers at 4:05 on Fox. I have 49ers. Bengals at Cowboys at 4:25. I have the Bengals. I would be changing that. Oh, Najee is playing? Oh. But then again, they're still going to be without TJ Watt. Do I want to change my pick? Maybe I keep it at Steelers. I'm going to come back to the Patriots pick. Patriots-Steelers pick. By the way, that Bengals-Cowboys game will be on CBS 425. Texans at Broncos 425 on CBS. I have the Broncos. Cardinals at Raiders 425 on CBS. I have the Raiders. Bears at Packers Sunday Night Football 8:20 on NBC. I have the Packers. Titans at Bills, one of two games on Monday. 9 on ESPN. I have the Bills. I think it's like 7:05 game. And then the other Monday game, 8:30 on ESPN. Vikings at Eagles. I have the I have Philly winning. Oh. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Do I want to change my pick back to the Steelers? Because the thing is, TJ Watt not being there is going to hurt. I guess Najee Harris will be playing, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm going to keep my pick with the Patriots. So that is week 2 predictions. We'll see how that unfolds. Let me know your predictions in the chat and or comments below for this week in NFL. From NFL, we moved to college football, and what a week it was in college football. There was some crazy stuff this week in college football. We had some major upsets and some regular starts, and even the rankings had some crazy jumps and falls this week, including some new teams being ranked, even one team getting newly ranked after losing, but barely losing. We'll get into that. But first game I want to cover, Iowa State versus Iowa. Iowa State actually won this game for the first time against Iowa since 2014, thanks to Iowa missing a late field goal late in 10-7. Iowa scored their first touchdown of the season on a rushing touchdown early, but it didn't matter as they lost to Iowa State in the end. Number 20, Kentucky, won on 2 gifted interceptions from Florida. One put them in prime position for a touchdown. One was long pick 6, and this is with number 12 Florida getting a safety on a bad snap on punt and a 26-16 Kentucky win. Thanks to a 29-yard field goal by Appalachian State and number 6 Texas A&M missing a 47-yard field goal, Appalachian State pulled off the major upset at Texas A&M 17-14. Number 1 Alabama barely beat Texas in a very back and forth game. Thanks to a Will Reichard 33-yard game-winning field goal, 20-19. After missing a 35-yard field goal that would have won it in regulation, and a 37-yard field goal that would have won it in the first overtime, number 21 BYU won on a touchdown without extra point over number 9 Baylor 26-20 major upset. Marshall, thanks to Henry Colombi and to Devin Miller, go ahead touchdown. Stephon Gilmore, his brother Steven, 37-yard pick 6, and Drew Pern interception upset number 8 Notre Dame 26-21. With Arkansas's 44-30 win over South Carolina, they have won consecutive SEC opponent openers for the first time since 2003 and 2004. And that is something for Arkansas because past years they've been struggling. Last 2 years they've been looking pretty good. Wisconsin and Washington State interception so Wisconsin basically threw an interception, but the defender then lost control of the football, and the ball went back to the Wisconsin quarterback. But in the end, Wisconsin lost that game. And with a 1-2 start after 45-42 loss to Georgia Southern, Nebraska fired head coach Scott Frost, whose alma mater is actually Nebraska, after a terrible stint there over many years with no bowl game wins. Might have had appeared in bowl games, but no wins. And that is the general recap for college football week 2. Rankings that came out this week, which is obviously the AP rankings because the college football playoff rankings don't come out till into November. Georgia moves up from 1 to 2 after their win. Alabama moves down from 1 to 2 after barely beating Texas. Ohio State staying at 3. Michigan staying at 4. Clemson stays at 5. Oklahoma up to 6. USC going up from 10 to 7. Oklahoma State going up from 11 to 8. Kentucky going up from 20 to 9. Arkansas is going up from 16 to 10. Michigan State going up from 14 to 11. BYU going up from 21 to 12. Miami, Florida going up from 15 to 13. Utah going down from 13 to 14. Tennessee going up from 24 to 15. NC State, North Carolina State going up from 18 to 16. Baylor going down from 9 to 17. Florida going down from 12 to 18. Wake Forest going up from 23 to 19. Ole Miss going up from 22 to 20. Texas at 21 was not in the rankings previously, as they make it in after barely losing to Alabama. And Penn State, also previously unranked, is now ranked at number 22. Pitt going down from 17 to 23. Texas A&M going down from 6 to 24. And Oregon newly ranked at 25. Notre Dame, who was originally at 8, no longer in the rankings in the top 25. Wisconsin, originally 19, also dropped out of the rankings. And Houston, that was 25 last week, dropped out of the rankings. That's the college football recap. Now let's get into the MLB part of this week's episode. Well, actually, I don't think there's really any big college football games this week. I Ohio State's game is the also this time of these the first couple of weeks are more of the ease back weeks. Oh, there's Oklahoma, Nebraska. Actually, take that back. That could be interesting. That's always an interesting matchup. They used to be in the same conference. Penn State, Auburn. That maybe could be interesting. Let's see anything else. Oregon, BYU, maybe. Michigan State, Washington could be interesting, maybe. Miami, Texas A&M, that could be a good one. Both teams being ranked. And that's pretty much it from what I'm seeing here. But otherwise, it's mostly not anything to pay attention to. As these weeks, anyways, are more of the more ease back games for the good teams, where until conference games start up, which for Ohio State and most teams will probably be within the next week or two. Anyways, MLB Weekly Recap. Going back to last Tuesday, Hayden Wesneski, in his major league debut, reliever from Scott Effross trade for the Cubs, went 5 innings, giving up 2 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts in a 9-3 win versus the Reds. Austin Romine was his first career major league strikeout. 5-run third by Baltimore in a 9-6 win versus the Blue Jays. 5-run 8th and 4-run 10th by the Rockies, including a Randall Grichuk, a walk-off 3-run homer in 10-7 win versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Matt Olson returned to Oakland as an Atlanta Brave, first time since the trade, had a walk, a 3-run homer, scored twice, and a strikeout in a 10-9 Braves win over the A's. Sean Murphy, 2-run homer, and Seth Brown solo home run went back-to-back in the third in that game. And Christian Bethancourt solo home run and Yu Ching solo home run went back-to-back in the sixth in a Rays 8-4 win versus the Red Sox. Tristan Casas had his first major league home run in that game in the second inning via a 2-run homer. That's from last Tuesday. Last Wednesday, down 5-1, 5-run ninth by the Cardinals, capped off by a Tommy Edman walk-off 2-run double to come back to win 6-5 versus the Nationals. Tyler Naquin 3-run homer and Eduardo Escobar solo home run went back-to-back in the fourth, and 5-1 Mets win versus the Pirates in game 1 of a doubleheader. And Dalton Varsho solo home run and Corbin Carroll solo home run and his first major league home run went back-to-back in the second in a 6-3 loss versus the Padres. That's from last Wednesday. Last Thursday, One headline: Yadier Molina had a 2-homer game, a go-ahead 2-run homer in the second, and game-tying solo home run in the fourth. An 11-6 loss for St. Louis versus the Nationals. Last Friday, 5-run first by the Reds, and an 8-2 win versus the Brewers. 5-run fourth by Rockies, 9-run fifth by Arizona, and a 13-10 Diamondbacks loss to the Rockies. Ryan McMahon had a 2-homer game-tying solo home run in the first and solo home run in the fourth. Elias Diaz had a walk-off 3-run homer to win the game for the Rockies. 5-run ninth by the White Sox in a 5-3 win versus Oakland, aka they were down 3-0 and came all the way back to win. Josh Jung in his major league debut, in his first major league at-bat, hit a solo home run for his first major league hit, home run, and RBI in a 4-3 loss versus the Blue Jays. Oscar Gonzalez had a 2-homer game, 3-run homer in the first, 2-run homer in the fifth, in a 7-6 Guardians win over the Twins. And Carlos Santana had a 2-homer game, game-tying 2-run homer in the second, and solo home run in the seventh. Seven homers between the Braves and Mariners in this game. 4 from Atlanta, 3 from Seattle. The Braves ones were Dansby Swanson 2-run homer in the first, Travis d'Arnaud solo home run in the fifth, Michael Harris the second solo home run in the sixth, Robbie Grossman solo home run in the sixth, and then for the Mariners, Carlos Santana game-tying 2-run homer in the second, JP Crawford solo home run in the fifth, and Carlos Santana solo home run in the seventh, in a 6-4 Braves win versus the Mariners. That's from last Friday. From last Saturday, 6-run first by the Yankees, a 10-3 win versus the Rays. 6-run ninth by the Red Sox in a 17-4 win versus Baltimore. 8-run fourth by the Mets, including Mark Canha grand slam home run, which was his first career grand slam home run in an 11-3 win versus the Marlins, and a 5-run third by the Blue Jays in an 11-7 win versus the Texas Rangers. From Sunday, which was 9/11, also, I know it's not sports related, but I should at least mention it. Sadly, the Queen of the UK passed away since last episode. Was sad to hear. They're going under a whole new change that there with leadership. Only the best, I guess. There, I don't know what remark to really say about it. But I don't necessarily. It might not be as painful to me as people from London, but I've been around a lot of people from the UK enough, and I've seen some of them since, and they were pretty upset about it. But just want to at least mention it. But anyways, from Sunday, 7-run second by the Yankees, which included back-to-back home runs from Giancarlo Stanton and Gleyber Torres, 3-run homer from Stanton, solo home run for Torres in a 10-4 win versus the Rays. Gleyber Torres had a 2-homer game, 3-run homer in the first, and solo home run in the second. Oswaldo Cabrera had his first major league home run via a 2-run homer in this game. 5-run third by the Astros, which included Alex Bregman go-ahead grand slam home run in his 12-4 win versus the Angels. 5-run seventh by the Diamondbacks in a 12-6 win versus the Rockies. 6-run fifth by the A's in a 10-3 win versus the White Sox. 6-run seventh by the Dodgers, which included a Justin Turner grand slam home run in an 11-2 win versus the San Diego Padres. Just going to pause for a moment. Sorry about that. Michael Harris II, outfielder for the Braves, solo home run in the 8th and 3-run homer in the 9th. And Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners, solo home run in the 1st and game-tying solo home run in the 9th. Both had 2-homer games for their respective teams in a Mariners 7-6 win versus the Braves. And Rowdy Tellez had a 2-homer game, solo home run in the 2nd, and solo home run in the 4th in a 7-6 win for the Brewers versus the Reds. That's from Sunday. From yesterday, 8-run sixth by the Marlins in a 10-6 win versus the Rangers in Game 2 of a doubleheader. With a 2-run homer in the 6th inning, Corey Seager has hit the most home runs for a left-handed shortstop at 30. 5-run fifth by the Pirates in a 6-3 win versus the Reds. with 2-run homer in the 5th inning. Mike Trout became the 9th player in MLB history with homers in 7+ consecutive games in a 5-4 loss for Angels versus the Guardians. And Framber Valdez threw a complete game shutout, getting the win, giving up 6 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts, and a major league tying 24th consecutive quality start in a 7-0 Astros win versus the Tigers. That is the games part of the MLB Weekly Recap. Now for the standings update. AL East, Yankees still in first place, 85-56, ending on a 2-game win streak. 17 is their magic number, 2 clinching the division. Followed by the Rays, 78-61, ending on a 3-game losing streak, 6 games back in the division. Firm wild card spot, no games ahead, for no games back, though Blue Jays might actually be... Blue Jays are ahead of them. Sorry, Blue Jays are in second place. I don't know why I had Tampa in second. Blue Jays in second place, 79-61. At one point, we're on a 5-game win streak, ending on a 1-game win streak, 5.5 back in the division, 5 games, half game up in the wild card, followed by the Rays in third place, 70-61, ending on a 3-game losing streak, 6 games up in the division, 6 games back in the division, firm spot, no games ahead or back in the wild card. Followed by the Orioles, 73-67, ending on a 2-game losing streak, 11.5 back in the division, 5.5 back in the wild card. Followed by the Red Sox, 69-72, ending on a 2-game winning streak, 16 games back in the division, 10 games back in the wild card. That is for the AL East. For the AL Central, Guardians in first place, 74-65, ending on a 4-game win streak. 20 is their magic number, 2 clinching the division, followed by the White Sox, 72-69, ending on a 1-game losing streak, 3 games back in the division, 7 games back in the wild card, followed by the Twins, 69-70, ending on a 3-game losing streak, 5 games back in the division, 9 games back in the wild card, followed by the Royals, 57-84, ending on a 1-game win streak, 18 games back in the division, followed by the Tigers, 54-87, ending on a 2-game losing streak, 21 games back in the division, mathematically eliminated from the wild card. Still a bit before they're officially eliminated completely. That's for the AL Central. For the AL West, Astros in first place, 91-50, ending on a 2-game win streak. 11 is their magic number to clinch in the division. Followed by the Mariners, 79-61, ending on a 2-game win streak. 11.5 back in the division. Half a game up in the wild card. Followed by the Angels, 61-80, ending on a 2-game win streak, losing streak. Officially eliminated from winning from the division race, not from the wild card officially yet. Followed by the Rangers, 61-80. At one point, we're on a 9-game losing streak, ending on a 1-game losing streak. Eliminated from the division race, not officially from the wild card. Followed by the A's, 51-90, ending on a 1-game win streak, eliminated from both, completely eliminated from the playoff race. And as for the American League, for the National League, in the NL East, Mets still in first place, 89-53, ending on a 1-game losing streak. 20 is their magic number to clinching the division. Followed by the Braves, 87-54. At one point, we're on an 8-game win streak, ending on a 3-game losing streak, 1.5 games back in the division. 10 games up in the wild card standings, followed by the Phillies, 78-62, ending on a 3-game win streak, 10 games back in the division, 1.5 games up in the wild card standings, followed by the Marlins, 58-83, ending on at one point on a 9-game losing streak, ending on a 1-game win streak, officially eliminated from the division race, not officially eliminated from the wild card or playoffs really at all, followed by the Nationals, 49-92, ending on a 3-game losing streak, officially mathematically eliminated from playoffs completely. That's for the NL East. For the NL Central, Cardinals in first place, 83-58, ending on a 2-game win streak. 14 is their magic number to clinching the NL Central, followed by the Brewers, 75-66, ending on a 2-game win streak, 8 games back in the division, 2 games back in the wild card, followed by the Cubs, 59-82, ending on a 1-game win streak, officially eliminated from the division race, not from the wild card race officially, followed by the Reds, 56-83, ending on a 3-game losing streak, same as they're officially eliminated from division race, not from the wild card race just yet. Followed by the Pirates, 52-88, ending on a 1-game win streak. They are officially eliminated from the playoff race completely. And then in the NL West, the Dodgers, which they actually messed up their magic number in the playoff clinching, but they did clinch a playoff spot with the win last night, 97-43, ending on a 3-game win streak. And if they win tonight and the Padres lose tonight, they will clinch the NL West, as their magic number is 2, as the magic number system works like this. Either the top team, also wild card's a bit different, but for division races, if either or both situations can happen, the top team in the division wins, or the second place team loses, that moves the magic number down. It can never go up. It will only go down until it reaches 0, or teams flip-flop in the standings from second to first, or vice versa, and so on and so forth. Followed by the Padres in second place, 77-64, ending on a 2-game losing streak, 20 and a half back in the division, first spot in the wild card, no games ahead, no games back. Followed by the Giants, 60-73, ending on at one point on a 5-game losing streak, ending on a 3-game win streak, eliminated from the division race, still 9 games, but are 9 games back in the wild card, so not officially eliminated from that race. Followed by the Diamondbacks, 66-74, ending on a 1-game losing streak, eliminated from the division race, on from the wild card. Followed by the Rockies, 61-80, ending on a 1-game losing streak, officially eliminated from the division race, not from the wild card. And the wild card standings are as follows: Rays, Mariners, and Blue Jays with firm playoff spots. I just realized even that might be wrong. Yeah, that is wrong. It's Seattle, Toronto, Tampa. The magic number being 18 for wild card fully being clinched with the teams currently in the wild card. And then behind them in order is Orioles, White Sox, and Twins. And then for the National League, it's Braves, Phillies, and Padres, with the magic number being 20 in the NL. I'm going to confirm that that's also accurate. Yeah. And then behind them is Brewers and Giants. That is for that. There are actually games now in regards to today's schedule. There are actually 2 games that have been final already because there's double headers. I'm going to have to update something, so just give me a moment. With both the Reds and Pirates having a doubleheader, and the Blue Jays and Rays having a doubleheader. So in the first game for the Pirates won the first game against the Reds 6-1. The second game will be starting at 6:40. Luis Ortiz will be starting for the Pirates. Fernando Cruz starting for the Reds. And for the first game between the Padres and Rays and Blue Jays, Rays won 4-2. It could be I talk about it more in next week's episode. But either way, the second game, Yanni Trino starting for the Rays, Alek Manoah starting for the Blue Jays. That is for the doubleheader with the games that have already happened. The rest of the games for today are as follows: Angels at Guardians at 6:10. Jose Suarez pitching for the Angels. Cody Morris pitching for the Guardians. Astros at Tigers at 6:40. Hunter Brown going for Houston. Drew Hutchison going for the Tigers for Detroit. Phillies at Marlins at 6:40. Bailey Falter pitching for Philly. Sandy Alcantara pitching for Miami. Orioles at Nationals at 7:05. Dean Kramer pitching for Baltimore. Corey Abbott pitching for Washington. Cubs at Mets at 7:10. Adrian Sampson pitching for Chicago. Jacob deGrom pitching for New York. Yankees at Red Sox at 7:10. Garrett Cole going for New York. Nick Pivetta going for Boston. Royals at Twins at 7:40. Chris Bubick going for Kansas City. Joe Ryan going for the Minnesota. Brewers at Cardinals at 7:45. Matt Bush going for Milwaukee. Jordan Montgomery going for St. Louis. Oakland at Texas at 8:05. Ken Waldichuk from one part of the trade deadline trades going for Oakland. Cole Reagan pitching for Texas. Rockies at White Sox at 8:10. Chad Poole going for Colorado. Michael Kopech going for Chicago. Dodgers at Diamondbacks at 9:40. Clayton Kershaw going for LA. Merrill Kelly going for the Diamondbacks. Padres at Mariners at 9:40. Yu Darvish going for the Padres. Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners. And then the Braves at Giants at 9:45. Kyle Wright going for Atlanta. Jacob Junis going for San Francisco. And that is the MLB part, and that is the today's schedule, and that is this week's episode of the podcast. So let's wrap things up. Thank Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Benny and the Booth Podcast. On next week's episode, we will have NFL Week 2 with that recap and NFL Week 3 predictions. We will have College Football Week 3 to be talking about. MLB stuff to be talking about. If there's anything NBA, we'll have that to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, help us get to 100 subscribers soon. Subscribe down below. Leave the notification bell so you're notified when I go live and post a video. If you're listening via audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, and leave a notification bell out there so you're notified when I post down there, which is usually soon after it goes live on YouTube or gets finished on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you next week for episode 50. Bye-bye.